Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about defining signage and right-of-way assets in public infrastructure. Signage and right-of-way assets include the physical elements that regulate, guide, and protect public movements within the transportation corridors. These assets include traffic signs, regulatory markers, wayfinding elements, easements, and controlled land areas adjacent to infrastructure. From an infrastructure perspective, signage and right-of-way are safety-critical assets that must be accurately located, documented, and maintained. Clear documentation of these assets is essential for lawful operation of public safety. Let's move on to why this matters to infrastructure owners and why accurate signage and right-of-way documentation is critical. Signage and right-of-way assets directly affect public safety, legal compliance, and agency liability. So missing or mislocated or underdocumented signage can lead to accidents, enforcement challenges, and legal exposure. Accurate right-of-way documentation supports maintenance planning, permitting, and conflict resolution. For agencies, reliable documentation reduces the risk and supports defensible infrastructure management. Now, there are some common signage and right-of-way asset types. Signage assets may include regulatory signs, warning signs, guide signs, and informational markers. Right-of-way assets include boundary, easements, access zones, and protected corridors. Each asset type has specific documentation requirements related to location, orientation, and conditions. So understanding these distinctions is essential for accurate mapping and compliance. After understanding the different types of documentation that is required, let's look at how signage and row are documented. The step-by-step documentation of signage and right-of-way assets. Documentation begins with identifying signage and right-of-way assets within a defined corridor or area. Spatial data is captured to establish precise location and alignment. Visual documentation records conditions, visibility, and context. Attributes such as sign types, orientation, and installation context are recorded. This precise creation of verified documents are suitable for operational and compliance use. And after this information is collected, you have to think about where this data lives, how signage and right-of-way data integrates within the GIS system. Signage and right-of-way data is primarily managed through the GIS platforms. Mapped locations support spatial analysis and maintenance planning. Assets register store descriptive attributes and the lifecycle information. And mapping platforms provide visual confirmation and situational awareness. So by aligning all of these systems ensures a consistent understanding of the row assets. And of course, there are some common failures when it comes to signage and right-of-way documentation. Failures often include signage locations are estimated rather than precisely mapped, and visual records may lack orientation, scale, or timestamps. Right-of-way boundaries may be outdated or inconsistently represented. These issues can lead to safety risk, enforcement challenges, and legal disputes.